Going live. And we're live. All right. So, welcome back. Happy Monday.
Happy
Beautiful
Monday.
Actually,
oh my God,
it's
so nice out.
57. The high's supposed to be 70.
I know. Thank God.
Wow.
So happy. Like, hopefully Drew's done now.
I know.
And
Sure
it's
hope
time for
so.
spring. Because I cannot do any more cold.
Is March in like a line out like a lamb? Or is that April? Do you know?
I want to say it's March.
April showers bring May flowers. So April's. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, as long as I just hope there's no rain. The rain is
Depressing.
almost as bad as the snow. But did you have a good weekend?
I did. I stayed on campus and I attended the basketball and baseball games for Iona.
How'd the baseball team do? I know the basketball team won.
Pretty bad. But it's okay.
We don't need to talk about it then. Saw that basketball is undefeated at home.
Yup.
That's pretty, amazing. Good
Yeah.
for them. Good for them. All right. This week, we're going to dive into Trisha Paytas. And if you don't know who that is, she is a YouTuber. She's goes by the name of Blonde Sundal for MJ. Maybe. She also goes by Trish like Fish, I think on TikTok.
I saw that, yep.
Yeah. So she's been in the public eye for a very long time. She's been on Jimmy Kimmel, she's been on Ellen, she's been on America's Got Talent. But she like doesn't really have any talents. It's
not that I could tell.
I don't know. She's currently one of the biggest names on YouTube with over 5 million subscribers. Trisha goes by they them, which I thought was a typo in the articles that I was reading. Then I realized it's not a typo, just what Trisha goes by. So, they created their channel back in 2007 with the name Blonde Sundal for MJ. I think they also have like a vlog channel, but I don't really know. They posted mukbangs, which are videos of people eating large servings of food in one sitting and talking to a camera. Nikocado Avocado also does this, if you know who that is. I don't know. I have a friend from home that's obsessed with him, and he does the mukbangs, and it's just like ordering one thing or ordering one of each thing from a menu and eating all of it.
Oh my God.
What fast food chain would you do that from? If you could get paid to eat one thing from each event.
Honestly, probably Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I was gonna say Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
That's the only right answer.
Yeah, no, literally.
Like Taco Bell would just make my stomach hurt way too much.
No, literally.
Burger King. I don't know.
Nah, it would have to be Chick-fil-A for sure.
Yeah. All right. They also. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be a trip up for me. Along with the mukbangs, they also post extremely emotional personal vlogs from their kitchen floor, and gotten into more public feuds than any other influencer on the internet. Her most notable ones are between David Dobrik, Ethan Klein, Charli D'Amelio, and Gabby Hanna. Originally, the channel was devoted to counting down the days until the film Inglourious Basterds by Quentin Tarantino was released back in 2007. Trisha says that Tarantino is her hero, which explains why she made an entire YouTube channel to count down the days. 2007, we were 5, so
yeah.
Never seen this movie.
I cannot even tell you what it's about.
Yep, but apparently Trisha really loves Quentin Tarantino. Within the following year, after 2007, they evolved their channel to include dieting vlogs, dating, beauty advice, and even an attempt to break the world record for speed talking, which this got her onto Ellen, America's Got Talent, and Jimmy Kimmel Live. But honestly, like, I know a good portion of the internet and like our generation is obsessed with Trisha.
Yeah.
Like, just so fascinated. I mean, I don't know if you know the video of her in the King Tut outfit.
No, I can't say I've seen it.
Oh my gosh, the Married to the Donkey.
No.
Oh my god, it was on TikTok. It had to have been 2020, maybe 2021. in the no, I think it was October of 2020 because I think I was in high school, and it just like that I think kind of brought people back to her and like
Yeah.
obviously she has a following, but like if you weren't following her before and you saw that, similar to the Kanye thing, like it was like, who is this person? What are they doing? This is a really funny video. And then from there, follower grew more, even if they weren't following her, just like actually legit hitting the button, they were going and checking.
Yeah.
But Trisha has shown the public time and time again that there is something like seriously mentally wrong.
Mhm.
And I don't know if they say that it's just all for the publicity part of it, but I feel like multiple like they've come out and said like multiple personality disorder. Um I know it's not really mentally wrong to switch your religion every day, but I think there's maybe
Maybe
something.
something wrong with that.
I don't know. But like this isn't meant to be mean or come off as inconsiderate of their feelings, but it seems like every month there is something new with Trisha Paytas.
Yeah.
So
It
we're
was like
getting
whoever you
go.
asked, like someone always like, "Oh yeah, like isn't that the person that did blah 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 blah?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Yeah."
Oh, they did do that. No, but I was gonna say the one that did this. It's like one of the, like it's
Yeah,
one of those
yeah.
people. Yeah. All right. We will jump into her friendship or their friendship with Shane Dawson, who is also a YouTuber. Do you know Shane Dawson?
I've definitely heard the name. I probably
Yeah.
need a photo and then I'd
Yeah.
get it.
He did actually kind of bad, but I used to watch his videos because he used to do like conspiracy theory videos, and I was like,
Oh.
oh, that's kind of interesting to think about it like that. Like, but he himself has been involved in a lot of drama on the internet. But if we choose to, that could be covered in a different episode. Because there's just so much, like just like Trisha, there's so much drama with him. He started his channel back in 2008. So him and Trisha have been on YouTube for a very long time in the public eye. Yeah, just how anything else.
Mhm.
Apparently, Paytas credits most of their success to Shane. They first met when Trisha was cast as a stripper in one of his early YouTube videos. Um, Trisha was just like amazed by the fact that he had all this money and could pay these people to do this stuff just by making videos online.
Yeah.
Saw that I think on an Insider article. And once Shane started telling people about Trisha, it really opened the door for them and like grew their following. So she credits a lot of her success and everything to Shane. I don't think she would say we're gonna get into it a little bit, but I don't know if she would say it now. I definitely before 2021 she would, but uh Trisha and Shane were friends from 2008 to 2021 when he remained friends with fellow YouTuber Jeffree Star, who's the makeup guru.
Yes. I
Jeffree Star
do know Jeffree Star.
Cosmetics.
Yep.
I think we might have talked about him last week with the Kanye thing. There was someone, I don't remember who it was, made up that him and Kanye were getting at it, and that's why Kanye wanted to move to Wyoming because Jeffree Star was out there, and yeah. Anyway, there was some drama between Jeffree and Trisha because Jeffree Star said some mean things about Trisha involving her weight, and this happened 2019. They all went away on a Valentine's Day trip, and he said some things about her weight. And in 2019, Trisha had a lot. She was in even more popular than she was, back in 2007. So you could see there was like, if you go back on her YouTube channel, you could see a lot of like things about her talking about her weight and like body dysmorphia and like struggling with stuff like that. And when Trish went to Shane and like talks about it with him, he refused to defend Trisha during the arguments with Jeffree Star on Twitter. This absolutely pissed Trisha off because around the same time, Shane Dawson was getting canceled with the whole cat thing,
Yeah.
which whatever. And Trisha had continuously defended Shane throughout this on social media. So since the falling out, Trisha has said that Shane should be held accountable for his past offensive behavior, but that was until October 7th of 2021. So they stopped being friends in early 2021 when she speaks out on a live stream saying, I think everyone, and then later in October she says, or they say, so this is another weird thing. They use she and they in all the articles that I read. So this, I feel so bad if I'm doing this wrong. They speak out on a live stream saying, I think everyone makes mistakes. I think everyone deserves to be forgiven. I feel like, everyone deserves second or third chances. As a public figure, do you have to give that? No. If you don't like him, you don't like him. Talking about Shane. But he has something that is just very charming and magnetic, and people like him.
I think it was right of her to stand up for him, but I don't understand why he wouldn't stand up for her after everything she's done for him.
Because I think Shane did the Jeffree Star, vlogs. He would, follow him around.
Okay.
It was weird. It was, I never got into that part of Shane Dawson. I literally only watched, 3 videos, and, I just rewatched them. I never
So you think he chose Jeffree's side
money.
over her?
I think it's because Jeffree Star had a lot more money and
Oh.
more, pull in social media.
Yeah, makes sense.
But Jeffree Star is also not a good person to be involved with, apparently.
Yeah.
Can't say that I've ever been there, but all right. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and talk about
Charli D'Amelio.
Niggas can't take me, niggas can't guard me. I be on the fuck nigga ass like Charmin, aka Twiggy Carvin. We could have been superstars. Remember when we were jacking cars? Now it's not safe for you. You switch like a pussy.
I've been feeling lonely. I need someone to hold me. Come on, baby, hold me. Yeah, I've been feeling jaded. Don't know how I should play it. Tell me how to play it. Now you've been moving on. Let me know. Can I come along? Since you're gone, oh, it's been so long. On my own, my own, my own, my own. Living in the haze, staying in the shade. All I do is sit around and wait for better days. I could use a break. Can I get an amen? All I do is sit around and wait for better days.
Can I get an amen? Introverted can't make friends. Pray for better days. Now it's 300K when my day ends. Do you remember last night? Cause I blacked out. In that all white dress with her back out. Said be careful with her heart cause it's fragile. And thinking about her past make her lash out. See with me it ain't no worries at all. Any problem I be there in one call. If we locked in, you my dog. Finna you hang pictures on my wall. Roll one, let's get hot tonight. Backseat made back lavish life. Chilling with the stars like a satellite. AP on my arm and it's shining bright.
Living in the haze, staying in the shade. All I do is sit around and wait for better days. I could use a break. Can I get an amen? All I do is sit around and wait for better days. Sit around and wait. Better days. I can't use a break. All I do is sit around and wait for better days. Better days. All I do is sit around and wait for better days.
And we're back talking about Charli D'Amelio, social media people. I honestly, I wish I could be. No, actually, maybe not wish. Sometimes I wish I could be on the internet and be paid to do things.
Yeah, because at times it sounds like it'd be, like, a lot of fun, like,
Yeah.
okay, all I gotta do is make TikToks and, like, that's always fun to do.
Yeah. You can do it with your friends. You can do it
But
outside. You can do
then
it inside. But then
do
you
it
have
literally whenever.
things like this with that we're gonna get into with Trisha Paytas, and it's like, do I want to live and put myself through?
And do I want people to know every single second of my life?
Yeah.
Hmm,
No.
probably not.
No, probably not. All right. So this was back in November of 2020. Along with this kind of brought my attention back to Trisha Paytas. Um, yeah. So Charlie D'Amelio, we should probably do a little backstory of the characters in this story. So Charlie D'Amelio, what is she, 18, 17 or 18?
It says here that she was 16 years old in 2020, so she's probably 17 now. She's, like,
Yeah.
our age.
Yeah, she's all right. So she's
17,
our
18.
age. She's a social media super influencer. Pretty sure she's the most followed person on TikTok.
I would not be surprised by
I
that.
think she definitely broke 100 million followers.
Wow.
She got famous for dancing
Yes.
in her school bathroom. Which is kind of what everybody was trying to do at the time. I remember watching the video and then learning that she was a year or two younger than me and thinking, I can do that. And I definitely could not do that.
Yep, no, definitely tried. Did it work out? Not at all.
No.
Was I as good at her? No.
Not even a little. She has this awesome thing called rhythm.
Yeah,
I lack that.
that I don't have.
And then, so Charlie D'Amelio, she has an older sister, Dixie. She's a few years older. They look identical. And then they have a mom and dad. And then the person that's not Trisha or Charlie is James Charles, who I feel like we should do an episode on James Charles.
No, literally, there's so much on James that, like, oh,
And, like, I used to be a fan of his. I used to watch his videos religiously.
Really?
Yeah. Because I was like, this is so cool. He does
honestly,
makeup.
probably
It's
same.
cool.
I think of maybe middle school. I was like,
Yeah, like
James
freshman
Charles.
year.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Morphe and the thick eyebrows.
Yes. Oh my god.
Yes. All right.
Maybe that's next week's episode.
I think that should be next week. James Charles is a beauty guru and fellow social media influencer, along with all of these people that we're talking about today. So Trisha started talking about Charlie because they were associated with James, and the D'Amelio family posted a video titled "Dinner with the D'Amelios" on their family YouTube channel, and James was the first guest that the family had. So they had a private chef come to their home in LA. Wow, I cannot believe that these words are coming out of my mouth right now. That this family did this. And then I don't know if this video, if this series is still going on or not, but chef comes out, he's talking, giving them the food, telling them what they're eating, and there was a lot of controversy over this specific video because Dixie, who again is like a year or two older than us, was saying stuff about how the food that was being served to her was not good, even though it was high quality,
Yeah.
fish and foreign food. Obviously, if you're not used to eating
These kinds of things.
yeah, you might be was the sashimi with the rice and the fish on top?
Okay.
No, this is an example. When
Yeah.
I see that, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I could eat that. It's
Interesting.
raw fish right on top. It's not just regular sushi, but so it's stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but they were audibly making comments, gagging noises and big reactions. So Trisha took her opinions to the Frenemies podcast that they had at the time, which we'll get into later, and describes Charlie as boring and said that she wasn't a good dancer, and then continued to question why Charlie and Addison Rae, who is just another person on the internet, should not be famous because they're just basic. After the chef video backlash, Trisha reacted to a clip of Charlie and Dixie and later agreed with some of the criticism towards them and their attitude in the video. She later said that she was providing constructive criticism and commenting on poor behavior.
Constructive criticism.
I think Trisha made like 35 TikToks about this.
Oh,
Like
girl.
it was like just an extremely large amount of TikToks
Maybe
about
that's like why she gets so much backlash.
because
we
there's
don't need
just
35.
so much.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just saying the same things over and over again, but in different ways.
Yep.
She posts in videos posted on Charlie's or wait, I think this is yeah. Hold on. I'm sorry, I just lost my place in the notes. In videos posted on their TikTok account reacting to Charlie's call out, Trisha explained that they weren't going to go off on Charlie because Charlie is a minor. Instead, she blamed Charlie's parents and James Charles for influencing her. She said, "This is the internet, this is social media. People are allowed to give opinions. You have very entitled behavior, both of you and your sister. It's unbecoming." So, again, it was because I remember, like, I watched the video and I watched all of Trisha's takes on it, and then James Charles and Charlie D'Amelio's and everything. Just because what else would you do in your free time than watch celebrities be butt heads with each other? But again, Dixie and Charlie were being very immature at the fact that they were being served very good food, like expensive. This being prepared by a professional
Well-made,
chef.
yeah.
Like, this isn't you go to McDonald's
It's
and
not like
you
Applebee's.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's
Exactly.
high quality.
You're not getting
stuff.
calamari from Applebee's. You're getting calamari from an actual chef.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's actually it's a really good way to put it. And in the video, James kind of is like, "Oh, like it's kind of hard being so young on the internet because you have all these people, saying stuff about you and giving you backlash, this and that." And the parents didn't really say anything. So I could see how
That would look.
yeah, and how Trisha was saying, like, I'm not gonna attack a 16-year-old. That's not right, because that could get Trisha in more trouble. But let's go to the adults in the situation who are stepping in and saying, "Stop acting like a child."
Yeah.
So
I mean, she is old enough that she should realize what she's doing. Maybe she was
Yeah.
putting on a front for the video, but
that's true.
even if
Yeah,
maybe not the right front.
yeah. I feel like if like you wouldn't want your kids to see that and then learn to react that way to
Yep.
certain food.
Yeah.
You'd rather them be like, "Oh, this isn't good. I don't really like this."
Or I prefer something else.
Yeah.
Something more simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
so
like gagging.
In front of the chef too. I don't know if
Yeah.
I mentioned that, but he was standing behind them and Dixie was making gagging noises. Which
Did she know the chef was behind
Yeah.
him? Oh my god.
I'm pretty
did
sure
not.
she looked and then did it. Imagine.
I could
Imagine.
never. Wow, that's
I can't
ballsy.
even say that. I can't even say that about my mom's cooking.
Yeah, no, same.
Like if my mom made something bad, I'd just be like,
Me and my dad would probably make a joke and be like, crispy.
dry chicken is my favorite. It's so good.
Honestly,
So good.
play it up with the sarcasm instead.
Yeah, like it's better than gagging.
Yeah.
Whatever. Charlie never really said anything back to Trisha after Trisha apologized. However, James Charles did go to Twitter and share his opinion on the matter.
How old was James during this?
I think he was 20 or 21.
Okay. All right.
I don't know what year he was born in, but I know he was
Older.
Yes, that was another thing that Trisha had a problem with, was that James was older and friends with all these young people. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He was friends with the Hype House.
Yep.
And all those kids in the Hype House were like, some of them were under 18, some of them were older. It was kind of, but Charlie
It's a
was always the
fair mix,
youngest.
Yeah.
And him and Charlie were close. So James tweeted, "This Charlie situation is not sitting right with me. 100 million followers in 1 year, and y'all expect her to know how to be a perfect role model. Death threats because she's a picky eater and made a joke about a milestone. 30 plus year olds dragging someone half their age feels familiar." So I think he's talking about how he was dragged on the internet.
When he was younger.
Yeah.
I mean, makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. He also later reacted to Trisha's comments about him calling out her predatory claims over his friendship with Charlie. James says, I didn't want to respond to this because I didn't want to give Trisha the attention that she's clearly craving. However, I have now been accused of being a child groomer, and this is not an accusation that I'm going to take lightly. That did not age well.
No.
To insinuate that the relationship between Charlie and I is anything other than just friendship is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
So, this entire situation lasted, in my memory, for about a week or two. But there
Yeah.
was so much that
It
went
just
back
kept
and
coming.
forth.
Yeah.
It just like most dramas on the internet, but it did spike my interest in Trisha Paytas. Parts of it. And then
Yeah.
after it, I kind of was like, yeah, whatever. And then we're going to get into some really good stuff next, which with Gabby Hanna.
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother story, man.
All right, we'll be right back.
Young blood thinks there's always tomorrow. I miss your touch on nights when I'm hollow. I know you crossed a bridge that I can't follow. Since the love that you left is all that I get, I want you to know that if I can't be close to you, I'll settle for the ghost of you. I miss you more than life. And if you can't be next to me, your memory is ecstasy. I miss you more than life. I miss you more than life. Young blood thinks there's always tomorrow. I need more time, but time can't be borrowed. I'd leave it all behind if I could follow. Since the love that you left is all that I get, I want you to know that if I can't be close to you, I'll settle for the ghost of you. I miss you more than life. Yeah. And if you can't be next to me, your memory is ecstasy. I miss you more than life. I miss you more than life. So if I can't get close to you, I'll settle for the ghost of you. I miss you more than life. And if you can't be next to me, your memory is ecstasy. I miss you more than life. I miss you more than life.
Hey, Kevin Hart here, and I'm not alone.
All right, we're back. Trisha Paytas and Gabby Hanna.
Time to get into this.
Ooh.
So before the two were only feuding with each other, but now they're battling with all their YouTube viewers and fans. So their feud has been ongoing since 2019 when Trisha made a video entitled Why I Don't Trust Gabby Hanna. In the video, she claims that Gabby had told her then boyfriend that Trisha has herpes.
Jason Nash, who is friends with David Dobrik. Just for some context.
That was much needed.
Yeah.
So Paytas denied the rumor in November 2019, and she said she was considering taking out a restraining order against Hanna, who defended her decision to tell Nash about the rumor.
Mm-hmm.
So
just for like some more context, is that David Dobrik, obviously he had the Vlog Squad,
yes,
which originally was like Heath, Zane, Scotty, Sire, those 3 girls.
Was Liza on it?
Liza was in it
Oh,
because
love her.
yes, Liza, I forgot that they dated.
They did it for a really long time.
Yes.
And then they broke up, and that was really depressing.
That was really, really sad, and I think that's when David Dobrik started to go down the hill.
Yep.
Because he lost Liza.
Yeah, obviously. She was, like, one of the best parts.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
So, Gabby was also in on this vlog squad because she was the butt of a lot of jokes and, you know, want to get famous. You want to be...
It's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Use David.
Just, use David and kind of get bullied. But it's fine because you have a blue check mark next to your name. Trisha Paytas starts dating Jason Nash, I feel like around November or like around 2019. So she starts being in the vlogs. Again, she's the butt of the joke because Jason's so much older and she's younger and she's called a gold digger and all this stuff and whatever. And then Gabby, who never... Trisha and Gabby's relationship is so weird because if you only look at Trisha's side, it's like Gabby's obsessed with Trisha. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, she wants to be friends with her so bad. She's texting her all this stuff. And then if you only look at Gabby's side, it's like, oh my God, Trisha is so mean to Gabby. Why would anyone say anything like this about her? Like, all this stuff. Anyway, go ahead, continue.
So they've always the pair has also argued over text messages when Paytas accused Hannah of harassment. On the podcast Frenemies, Paytas had a dramatic exit and a revealing call between Hannah and her ex-friend was leaked. The two have become some of the biggest targets for criticism on the YouTube ecosystem. Now, with Frenemies being over and Paytas turning against her co-host Ethan Klein, do you have any background information?
We're going to get into that.
Okay. Ethan Klein, ex-fans are pointing out similarities between Paytas and Hannah. Both have been accused of hypocrisy. Hypocrisy? Yeah. But since they're both dedicated to their online spotlight, they're not going to get off online anytime soon. Get offline. They both also have similar content on their channels, and they're open about their experiences with mental health and how they're seeking treatment for it. They weren't really associating with one another until they had this big feud. Hannah's fight with Paytas quickly spiraled into a massive unrelated controversy. So, I know Hannah also went through some stuff, and Trisha, of course, wanted to comment on it.
Yeah.
So, a former fan of Hannah tweeted that Gabby Hannah chose a rapist over her then best friend who was the victim. Over her
then
boyfriend.
Best friend.
Yeah.
So Gabby Hannah had a friend, don't remember her name, but her friend was raped. I believe it was like found that she definitely was. And then Gabby Hannah chose to be friends with the rapist instead of believing her best friend. Like Gabby Hannah was friends with the boyfriend because of the friend. So she didn't know the boyfriend beforehand. She didn't know him at all. And then dropped her friend for the rapist. Weird. So that's what that's talking about. So again, this is like things that Gabby Hannah does or did would send Trisha after her. And then things that Trisha Paytas would do would send Gabby Hannah after her. So kind of similar.
It's like they were feeding into one another.
Yeah, it was, comical to watch from the outside. But then again, you're looking at two people that could have severe mental illness just fighting about nothing all the time. Online.
Yeah, online. All the time.
Yeah. And calling each other out and just for crazy things. And again, going back to if you only look at one side, you could see, okay, I could believe this person because they have these text messages, they have the DMs, they have the receipts, they have screenshots of whatever. But it's so easy to alter stuff.
Yeah, especially online with everything.
Yeah.
Because now you have the internet. You can completely make something up and other people will believe you.
Yeah. And also like text messages, you could delete certain messages and like it makes it just look like or crop a photo a certain way. Like, I don't know.
So what is that? Vasquez?
Yeah, Vasquez.
So
That's her friend.
yeah, they made a video titled "Gabby Hannah Needs to Be Stopped" about all of Hannah's messages and communications with Lepore. The video made major waves in the YouTube community and earned Hannah a reputation as a rape apologist, which Paytas said in reference to the influencer in a recent video. In 2020, Hannah tried clearing her name by going against Vasquez. Vasquez.
So that is like part of their drama. Like
Yeah.
there is so much. I remember like watching, Frenemies and Trisha Paytas's TikToks, her YouTube videos, and then like other drama things on TikTok or on YouTube, just trying to, know what's up, wanting to know what's going on, because my sister would see it. I wouldn't, not on my For You page, but I wanted to know because I'd hear people talking about it.
That was
and
the other side of TikTok.
Yeah, it was the weird stuff. Like I don't know. I don't remember really ever seeing. Yeah, I never saw it on TikTok myself unless I looked for it. But there was this with Gabby Hanna being friends with the rapist, and then also the herpes thing.
Yeah.
I think was what made
why did Gabby even say that to begin with? Like, what sparked her
to
be
go
like,
to Jason and be like, your girlfriend has herpes.
Trisha has herpes. Like, watch out. Maybe she was jealous.
I think so. Gabby Hanna has spoke about this before, and she has said, like, I just thought that Jason should know, like, I was his friend, and like anybody should know. Like, I heard a rumor that you had herpes, like talking to Trish. Like, I heard you had herpes, so I thought I should tell him. And Trisha again and again was like, I don't have herpes.
Yeah.
She's like, there's no, like, even if I did, that's not your business to go and tell. Like,
especially online. Like, how did this even get out?
Like, just crazy, crazy things. Again, that whole friend group, the Vlog Squad, has since changed because I think it was so toxic. And Gabby Hanna was in it, and she loved the drama.
Oh, yeah.
She loved it. Again, just like Shane Dawson, I can shamefully say that I did used to watch Gabby Hanna videos.
I definitely have to. At least
the story times.
Yes,
They
were
so
good. It was just like her drama made people want to watch.
Yeah.
Like they definitely
and
sucked
she
people
would try
in.
to be relatable,
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I wasn't really liked in high school. I was this theater geek. I was weird. I was in college.
And like she's funny.
Yeah.
It definitely helps that she's funny because then that just attracts more people because they're like, oh my god, like comedy.
Yeah. But then she started to release music.
Oh boy.
She was good and down and dirty in the studio. Which I don't know. Have you ever heard any of her songs?
Oh, I don't think so. That might be a good thing.
Should we play it during the break?
Oh, for sure.
I don't think so. I don't want to sit through. So is there? I'm trying to think of anything else that I can pull off the top of my head about Trisha Paytas and Gabby Hanna. Like, I do remember talk about having a restraining order was going on.
Yep.
I also didn't. I mean, I don't really remember if that went through or not, but just a whole bunch of stuff. So we have like 15 minutes left. Should we jump right to Ethan Klein and Frenemies? Because this is the biggest one.
Oh, yeah. So my question is, what is Frenemies even about?
So it would
podcast.
I didn't know that it started when it did. It started, I think 2020. Yeah.
Really?
September of 2020. But I didn't start knowing about it until 2021. Maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
I feel like that happens with most podcasts, though. Like, they have to get a good grip, a good, like, watch, and then it gets popular.
I also didn't know, like, H3H3 or, like, Teddy Fresh, which is, like, their clothing brand. But, yeah. I watched a few episodes. It was basically like there was no theme.
Mm.
It was just the two of them talking.
Okay. Interesting. All right, let's get into
Okay,
Ethan.
so Ethan Klein is a YouTuber podcaster with Gila, his wife, and they have H3H3. They also have the clothing line Teddy Fresh. At the time of the friendship between Trisha and Ethan, Trisha was engaged to Hila's brother Moses.
Okay.
Which now the two have since tied the knot and now are expecting a baby, which is huge. Frenemies started back in September of 2020, but they've had a turbulent relationship since 2019. But since 2020, they developed a very strong friendship. Frenemies was a chance for them to come together and air their grievances about each other. So frenemies, friend enemies, much like that Disney Channel original movie,
oh my God,
Frenemies.
yes. Oh my God, watched that all the time when I was younger.
It created interesting conversations about the realities of living with mental illness and played a huge part in controversies around top creators like David Dobrik, Shane Dawson, and James Charles. So Ethan Klein has a tick, and then I don't know what else, but I remember Trisha made fun of him for it, and he turned around and said, well, at least I don't have multiple personality disorder, and they did not like that.
Well, damn.
But Ethan was, I don't know, whenever I think I watched the one that had to do with James Charles, it was like a dad making jokes. Like, it wasn't, when he would insult James Charles, it wasn't how Trisha would do it and like go for the throat. It was more like, well, James Charles, like, you're a predator, haha. Like, like that was it. On 3 occasions of the show, 3 out of 39 occasions, Paytas stormed off the set following an argument, usually publicly on Twitter.
Yes.
On one occasion, Trisha, who uses they them pronouns, walked out in tears when Klein called them a dangerous person to be close to. Several weeks later, Paytas called Hila, Klein's wife, and Trisha's now sister-in-law the C word and vowed to never return.
All right.
I think that was one of the last episodes that they had together. And then on June 8th, 2021, Paytas posted a YouTube video announcing that they were leaving Frenemies. And in this video, Paytas said that they had experienced a lot of anxiety while filming the most recent episode of the podcast. They said that while the show had been their weekly source of stability that they looked forward to, it was best for everyone if they stepped away. Paytas said Klein had told them the podcast production crew was unhappy with them for their behavior after an argument broke out about how Klein spends the revenue from the show. Paytas said Klein had hired a new person for his production company, H3H3 Productions, which produces all of Klein's podcasts and videos, and they didn't like that they had no say in the decision.
Yeah.
So Trisha really liked the old production company, and then Klein switched it, and Trisha didn't like that. She didn't have a say, like, that they couldn't keep one thing for the podcast and keep it different than everything else. But because it's a whole, like, business, H3H3, everything needed to be the same.
Yeah.
Paytas said that the money wasn't the issue, but that they wanted the podcast to do something they and Klein made together, and they wanted to be more involved in the production side of things. They said they felt like they were walking into a group they weren't a part of, which made them uneasy. I would love the opportunity to pitch in half for the set because I really do feel like I built the show with them 50-50. I don't feel comfortable walking into something that Ethan has built. If I knew I was coming in as a third H3 show, I swear, hand to God, I would not have done it. Trisha also said that they didn't like it when Klein spoke over them when they were talking about trans rights, and they had trouble communicating that this upset them, which may have escalated things. At the beginning, I really thought that I was just being asserting, just saying how I feel, and then it did turn into frustration because I could feel it all crashing. Paytas said the main reason they were upset was that they didn't want the production crew to think of them as rude. They said they hadn't watched the episode, but they knew that they felt so awful and had to get out of there. So I just don't think it's good for me anymore. It really sucks, Peta said. And then Ethan took to Twitter and said, I'm honestly gutted over this whole thing. Trisha's video this morning was a total surprise to me. I don't really know what more I can say or do. I'm very sorry to all the fans of Frenemies. I know how much it meant to everyone. I did everything I humanly could to save it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I remember I would go back and forth like, oh, Trisha's quitting. Oh my God, no more Frenemies. And then the next week she'd be like, they'd be back and be like, yeah, so about that.
She was like, maybe we overreacted a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. But they haven't been back since.
Do you think Ethan would want to start up again if she was okay with it?
Willing.
Yeah.
I don't know, honestly. Like, I feel like according to this tweet, it seems like he would.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know.
Been what, more than a year now?
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. So I think that is all we have today.
Yeah.
Do you have any closing remarks, takeaways, etc.?
Honestly, I don't know why everyone's still so obsessed with Trisha.
It's like anything though, drama-wise.
Yeah. Definitely would love to see more TikTok drama with her.
Yeah. I mean, she's pregnant.
Yeah. That's big. I guess a lot of people have been making remarks on that.
Yeah.
How they think she's like faking it. And she's like, how would I be faking it?
Yeah, I also heard that people said that she was gonna be a bad mom, which I feel like is so mean to say. Like,
yeah, you don't say that to somebody.
especially someone who's been trying, like, who has struggled with infertility, like Trisha, like,
for so many years.
Like, all you could go back and see, like, early on, all she's ever said was like, I want to be a mom. That's all Trisha's like usually always circle back to like, I want to be a mom, I want to have kids. Like,
you already know that, like, when she has her kid,
oh God,
if like a kid throws like sand at her child, she's gonna be like, "Ayo!" and like get into a big ass fight on the playground.
It's a shame that we don't have more time because there is so many other things. Like, if we could honestly break this down into like just YouTube drama, just Twitter drama, just Instagram, just TikTok, like
there could be a lot.
There's a lot more than Kanye like last week. But I think that is all, and we'll be back here next week. Same. Oh wait, no.
Next week's spring break.
Next week is spring break. Do you have any spring break plans? Oh my gosh! Wait, this just turned my entire day around.
I'm definitely going to watch your game against Colombia.
Okay,
so
that's fun.
I'll be there in the stands. And then it's St. Patty's Day over break.
That's true. It is St. Patty's Day.
I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I want to do something.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm good for you to be able to go out.
What about you?
Got a game Tuesday and then Saturday, so I will not be going out on St. Patrick's Day. I'll celebrate it later.
Maybe in the summer.
Yeah.
When season's over.
I mean, it just sucks. I'm not going to go home. Actually, I might go home. My neighbors are really big. They're a big Irish family, and they make the corned beef and it's so
chef's
good.
kiss.
So good. I might have to go home for the night just to eat that.
Be like, thank you.
Thank you so much, McKenna's. All right, so we'll be back here in 2 weeks then.
Yep.
Covering another celebrity.
Let us know if you want us to do anything.
Any suggestions, drop it in the comments below to all the viewers.
Have a great day, guys. That's so